How about your relationship with your mom? Like, is she happy for
Oh
y'all
man,
or?
fuck that lady. I don't have a mom. She's weird. She's strange. I don't know what her motive is, her angle. I don't know what she's trying to accomplish with her outreaches and whatever she does. I really don't care for her. She's not in my best interest. So what can I do with that?
Damn, yeah. Does it make you like sad that,
Hell no.
not involved or?
Nope. I don't know. I feel much less stress, much less, microscopic. Somebody like clocking me. So no.
Carlissa Saffold just turned 53, and the life she's living right now, it's embarrassing. If you clicked on this thinking you already knew the story, you don't. Because what's unfolded around this woman goes deeper than any headline or 30-second clip has ever captured. There have been moments so public, so raw, so completely unfiltered that people still bring them up years later. And every single time it looked like the dust was settling, something else happened. Carlissa was born August 22, 1972, in Warren, Ohio. As a teenager, she became a mother for the first time, welcoming her eldest son, Andre Harvey. Shortly after, she packed up and headed to Los Angeles, chasing something better. In LA, she had her daughter Kay from a relationship that ended after she discovered infidelity, and then in the mid-1990s, she got together with Jonathan Michael Porter Sr. On January 20th, 1997, their son Jonathan Jamal Porter was born. The world would eventually know him as Blueface. At the time, though, she was just a young mother raising 3 kids from 3 different fathers, working retail jobs and background acting gigs, doing whatever it took to keep the family afloat. Her marriage to Jonathan Sr. didn't survive, and it didn't end quietly. Years later, once Blueface's fame pulled both parents into public conversation, the real story came out. Jonathan claimed Carlissa kept a rotation of multiple men and cheated with a student. Carlissa fired back that he'd maintained relationships with 5 different women simultaneously while they were married, both of them airing 2 decades of buried grievances for the world to dissect. Carlissa spent nearly 2 decades as a single mother, eventually founding a weight loss coaching business called Angelic Fitness. In April 2018, she found love again, marrying Sterling Saffold, a former San Diego Chargers player turned motivational speaker. Around that same time, her youngest son was about to blow up the internet. Blueface went viral in 2018, and almost overnight the family went from private life to a spotlight pointed directly at everything they did. People wanted to know who raised him, and once they found Carlissa, they realized she had energy of her own. Opinions, receipts, a social media presence, and zero hesitation about using it. She didn't stay in the background. In the early years of his fame, she began inserting herself into his world, commenting publicly on his relationships, clashing early with his first baby mother, Jaden Alexis. That tension boiled over when surveillance footage caught Blueface kicking Carlissa and her daughter Kay out of his house after she showed up unannounced, tired of Kay freeloading. It was a jarring moment the internet dissected for weeks, and it set the tone for everything that followed. Rather than retreat, Carlissa leaned all the way in. She launched a Patreon reality series documenting her household, joined Zeus Network as a co-host on the Aunt T podcast, alongside fellow celebrity mothers Tokyo Toni and Tia Kemp, and built a following approaching 500,000 across platforms, a brand entirely separate from her son's. Then October 15th, 2023 happened, and the internet never let her forget it. Carlissa accidentally posted an explicit photo of herself to her public Instagram story, meant, she said, as a private message to her husband. It spread within minutes. She addressed it almost immediately, explaining it wasn't for clout and that her husband's reaction to it going public made everything worse. Blueface's response was to troll her publicly on social media, adding fuel to a fire that was already consuming everyone's attention. The memes ran for days, and the moment has followed her ever since, one of the most cited examples whenever her name comes up. Next came Christian Rock. When Blueface started dating her, Carlissa made no secret of her disapproval, going on record repeatedly that she believed Christian wasn't right for her son, and that nobody around him wanted to listen. Their public feud played out across her own live streams, and Blueface and Christian's reality series Crazy in Love, both women trading statements that fed blogs for months. When Blueface was arrested in January 2024 on a probation violation and sent to prison on a 4-year sentence, Carlissa didn't go quiet. She publicly blamed both Jaden Alexis and Christian Rock for the circumstances that landed him there, framing herself as the one who'd tried to warn him. That same year brought one of her rawest public moments. When video surfaced of Blueface getting new face tattoos in prison, Carlissa shared screenshots of messages scolding him directly, telling him his kids were suffering, that his behavior was diabolical, and that he was a father of 3 who needed to come home better, not worse. Around the same time, rumors spread that Blueface had secretly married Christian Rock behind bars. Carlissa shut it down within hours, saying she'd confirmed with his team that no marriage had taken place, cementing her role as the person the internet turned to for the real story. Then, in April 2025, something shifted. Blueface posted a message to his mother from prison, admitting he'd let women come between them, and that prison had shown him who was actually in his corner, asking that she and his kids be the ones to pick him up upon release. Carlissa responded with open affection. The reconciliation played out publicly, with some genuinely moved and others skeptical of the timing. Shortly after, the two went live together, and the conversation turned unexpectedly heavy. Blueface telling her directly that watching her fight with the men in her life as a kid had hurt him more than anything else, that he'd have rather lived in a tent. It became one of the most emotionally raw exchanges in their entire public history. By December 2025, the chaos had shifted again. Blueface was out of prison and dating Hazel E. from Love and Hip Hop. When the internet discovered Hazel was 45, not late 30s as Blueface had told his mother, Carlissa's visible reaction was enough to get her unfollowed by Hazel on the spot. TMZ caught all 3 of them together in Beverly Hills within 24 hours, and a group hug went viral as Hazel agreed to refollow her. Weeks later came arguably the most bizarre exchange of the entire saga. Blueface posted on X accusing his mother of being too invested in his relationships, suggesting her behavior toward his girlfriends bordered on jealousy. Carlissa's response was to post that she was now accepting wife applications for her son, listing requirements including an Aries sign, a relationship with God, cooking and cleaning skills, and no prior involvement with other celebrities. Signed simply, Mommy. It broke the internet for days. But not every viral moment painted her badly. In mid-2025, a clip surfaced of Carlissa physically disciplining her granddaughter journey after journey hit her and told her to leave the house. Carlissa responded on Instagram citing California law on guardian discipline and reminding critics she'd raised 3 kids herself. This time, public opinion largely sided with her, a rare moment where the reaction ran in her favor instead of against her. That's really the whole picture. The explicit photo, the feud with Christian Rock, the mutual cheating accusations with Jonathan Sr., the prison tattoos, the reconciliation, the live stream trauma conversation, Hazel E., the wife applications. It's not any single incident that makes her story what it is. It's the pattern, the relentlessness of it, the fact that there's always another moment coming, and it always plays out where everyone can see it. And there's another side too, one the headlines rarely capture. She advocated for her son publicly while he was locked up. She cared for his kids, stood in as a stabilizing presence for Javon and Journey when he couldn't be there. She sent him messages of love through intermediaries when direct contact wasn't possible. Those moments exist in the record too. They just don't generate the same clicks as conflict. At 53, Carlissa Saffold isn't going anywhere. She's still posting, still speaking, still at the center of a family story that shows no sign of slowing down. Especially now that Blueface is back out and already making headlines of his own. She came from nothing, built a life with her own hands, survived a broken marriage and 2 decades as a single mother, found love again, and then got pulled into a level of scrutiny most people never have to navigate. The choices she's made since, to stay visible, to speak, to react on camera every time, are what led here. But those choices came from a real person living a real life, not a character written for entertainment. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know where you stand on all of this.